I'll say a book I'd recommend you to read is The Virtue of Selfishness by Ayn Rand, because she kind of pointed out that we have this misunderstanding of what selfishness is, because like the textbook definition is to one's own interest. Now, we kind of like think that when we think of selfish, that's something that's negative, but it's actually not always a negative. There's negative selfishness and positive selfishness. The negative side is that it does bad onto others. It has a bad ripple effect. But the good part, like, for example, with your career, impact you have on your kids, so when you go through the Muay Thai training, put them through hell, you're sending a positive ripple effect through that selfishness for them to be the best version of themselves and to do the same thing onto others.
Yeah. You know, thank you for that. I had no idea that there were two definitions of selfishness. It is crazy because I operated as such, but I didn't know the like textbook version, that part of it. And I would always sum it up in my head. It's like, yo, I'm being selfish for very selfless reasons. I want to be the best version of myself so I can be better for other people. But that takes me to have a full cup of water before I can let everybody else drink.
Yeah.
If I'm just completely empty, then like I'm taking from other people's cup of water. And sometimes you'll be empty and you'll need to get refilled from everyone else. But I'm like, I don't want a small cup. I want like a fucking gallon tap. And every time somebody needs some, is thirsty or they need hydration, like maybe you're not just thirsty. Maybe this is for the people who are dehydrated. If you're thirsty, find a way.
Yeah.
You know, like I know this, you put some work in, but for those who are like about to pass out and need it, boom. Here's like, I'm on tap, bro. Moon's on tap. What do you need? You know, right?
Exactly.
But like, you have to be selfish and you have to be able to fill your own cup at times. And there are times where it's really hard for me to fill it. So I have extremely high standards for myself as just a man in general, like, and not just like in fighting. I'm talking about just being a man. I have very high standards for myself. And I've gone through times, and I still go through times where it's hard to look in the mirror, and I feel like I'm never doing enough. And everyone's like, oh, you're doing great. But I'm like, it doesn't matter if you tell me I'm doing great. I have to believe I'm doing great.
Yeah, it's the greater the ambitions, the greater the burden. Because when you set yourself a standard so high, or when you set the goal so high, like where you're saying, like if they start at -9, they have to go all the way to +9. That's
18
more
phases, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, you feel more compelled to fill that gap. Like, that's how I am too. Like, one of my lifelong goals is to learn everything, but then my other goal is to change the world.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a pretty tall glass to fill, and I have to be selfish to an extent to be the best version of myself and also put myself through those trials to reach that greater ambition.
Well, changing the world starts with changing yourself. Think about that. 7 billion people on the planet. I keep saying it. Don't even say 7 billion. If 3 billion had that attitude of, man, I got to be a little bit selfish so I can help affect change in other. Bruh, it would be no pollution, it wouldn't be hunger, it wouldn't be this, that, and the third. But I love to play devil's advocate. But then what would be the countering force that forces humanity to continue to grow and prosper? Because like you said, the whole Atlanta story, then we live in a utopia. And now we're in a utopia so long that when it crashes, it's gonna crash and burn. So it goes like, I call it the Thanos effect. Right? Like Thanos was like, you guys are using up all the resources of doing this. You guys are destroying the universe. And either one thing's gonna happen. You're gonna destroy the universe, or me, I'm gonna destroy you guys. And so the universe can live on. So species of everybody can live on. Now everybody's not gonna die, but I'll take half of you.
Yeah.
Right? And oh my God, that's so bad. And I'm thinking like, he got a point. Like, he got a point. Like, if everything was all gravy, then like, there's no resistance and like, people feel entitled in it. So I always go back and forth with this. Like, it has to be this resistance in order to progress. Now, this is the point I am in my life where I'm like, I don't want all the external factors. I understand that I'll run into those external factors that are going to cause me pain and force me to grow. but I choose to give myself pain and myself struggle. That way, when those external factors come, they're like, it's like throwing a rock at a mountain. It's like, cool. And people might take this like, and like, oh, that's not suffering. I'm like, look, I choose to get an ice bath every morning. It fucking sucks for 3 minutes every fucking day. I chose that suffering for 3 minutes because I know it has benefits to help me sleep, my body recover, that, and the third. And it's uncomfortable for 3 fucking minutes. That's not suffering. Yeah, then I go and train and break down my body because I know if I continue to break down my body, I'll continue to build it up. So I'll be healthier in the long term. Cool. And I choose that suffering. And I choose to be baptized by the fire of martial arts and sparring and Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. And I choose these things. So when life presents obstacles, like,
it's a breeze.
It's like, okay, well, I choose my own suffering anyway. So if I just chose, I would say people who like retire and they like, oh man, I'm going to go. I said, bro, you're going to be 3 weeks into soaking up the sun on the beach in a day full of Mai Tais before you're depressed. Because now you have no purpose. You're just enjoying the comforts of life.